This Katie Couric book has been really interesting. Ashley Banfield, who was actually underneath, she's the one with the straw jawline, pretty black glass, beautiful blonde girl, sounded off by Katie Couric because she took a dig at Ashley, too. She basically said that Ashley was being talked about as replacing Katie Couric, and that she was not going to mentor her because why would I mentor someone that's going to take my job?
Sounds like quarterbacks.
And she said something about Ashley's father, who was senile at the time. Someone from NBC or whoever she was working for reached out to Ashley's father, and he said something along the lines of, I believe that Ashley's going to be taking Couric's job someday, and Couric took that and ran with it, and Ashley basically asked Katie for an apology based on her book. And then she did come out, took the high road. You should listen to it. It's great. It's 5 minutes long, so I'm not going to play it.
Did she get in? She do an interview? She did.
No, she came out. She talked about it on Ashley Bancroft talked about it last night on her show and said, but I will say this. I love Katie Couric. I've always loved Katie Couric. She's still here for me. I look up to her. She is the epitome of what every woman should do. And she always felt like, Katie felt like the apex of the mountain was like this. She said, it's like this. She said, us women need to look after each other. Yes. We need to help each other go up. And it was more of a Katie and everyone else.
Yeah.
So she took an indirect stab. Anyway.
That's interesting.
In the book, she does talk about the whisper she heard about her longtime co-anchor, Matt Lauer, and his lecherous behavior. And she claims the women he damaged reached out to her. In the brand new blockbuster, she said that Matt kept the water cooler chat going. One story involving Lauer, who was fired in November 2017 following complaints of alleged sexual misconduct, actually dealt with a woman behind closed doors in his now notorious office, which was equipped with a desk button to lock the door, just like Nick Saban does. He's got one of those.
Does he really?
Huh?
Why?
Because he wants to lock the door and not get off his big lazy ass, I guess. But he's got a button under his desk where he can lock his door to his office.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. That makes sense. I was thinking of like, why would you? Yeah. So if you know,
does it?
Well, it kind of doesn't. I was.
No one needs a button to lock the door.
Why would you need to lock your door?
Because you don't want anyone seeing you locking the door.
No. But think about this. In an office setting.
Yeah.
Why would you ever need to lock the door? Close the door, I understand.
Great question. Ask Nick Saban.
Well, and Matt.
Couric wrote in the book that Lauer allegedly said that sometimes women came into his office crying, and he worried that if he sat next to him on a sofa, he couldn't even put his arms around them. Couric said she tried to imagine such a scene taking place and advised Lauer that he cannot do that. You cannot ever put your arm around them.
Dumbass.
Don't do it.
My God.
Meanwhile, Couric goes on to claim one woman confided in her after she received an inappropriate email from Lauer following a segment with the biographer Kitty Kelly for her tell-all book on the Bush family in 2004. The female producer who retold the story to Couric said she reached out to Lauer to congratulate him on the combative interview. The unnamed producer said that Lauer asked her then, "Are you trying to butter me up?" When she said that was not the case, as Couric wrote, Lauer reportedly responded, offering her to show her how to butter him up and suggested that he spread it on her thighs. Couric also wrote the producer told her that he proceeded to invite her to the office requesting she wears a skirt that comes off easily.
God.
Couric also recalled the producer telling her that a flustered Lauer then visited the woman in her office after sending the email with a book option for the show, but they never spoke about the incident, so nothing ever happened.
Okay.
She said, and this goes on to what we were talking about in rock and roll, she said that was all part of the culture where sex and affairs were rife in the workplace. Couric said nothing that she later learned about a secret office that they called the bunker. Couric alleged that only an unnamed male anchor had a key to use it for one-on-one encounters, and I don't mean interviews. She also said Lauer saw what was ahead of him, saying at one point, this Me Too stuff feels like we're getting out of control a little bit. It feels like a witch hunt. She added that she thought that Lauer was worried about the lack of due process. People's livelihoods and reputations were being destroyed. When Couric quit the NBC flagship Today Show in 2006 to helm her ill-fated CBS Evening News, she also heard the office scuttlebutt that Lauer had a fling at the 2014 Sochi Olympics, which eventually would get him fired. Lauer said in a lengthy statement that everything was consensual. No, they engaged in a variety of sexual acts. We performed oral sex on each other. We had vaginal sex. We had anal sex.
Wait, wasn't he married? He was married, though, at the time.
He was.
Yeah.
Each act was mutual and completely consensual. Although Couric initially thought it was gross that Lauer was cheating on his now ex-wife, Annette, and taking advantage of a younger staff member, she said the general rule at the time was, it's none of your business. A don't ask, don't tell culture where anything goes and everything did. She wrote in her book that she assumed it was a consensual fling and didn't consider talking to the young employee for fear of embarrassing her. She also wrote in the book that she heard rumors that Annette Lauer had called the control room one morning looking for her husband and demanding the phone number of a TV anchor he had been linked to. When Lauer was fired, Couric did reach out to him, calling him a decent man whom she felt heartless to abandon. She said, I could not bring it to myself to not at least reach out to him and let him know that I was thinking about him, despite the facts that I knew all the facts of themselves.
That's a hard one, man, that last statement.
That's interesting because when you're friends with somebody for a long period of time, we talk about this all the time. When you associate yourself with people that are doing bad things, but they've never done anything bad to you. Why are you hanging out with that person? Well, we're being good friends. He's never done anything to me. But there's the word and the factual aspects.
I don't know. I mean, I get that.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
We've been working together for, 5, 6 years?
Are you gonna make a major confession right
now? No. But we've been working for 5 or 6 years, and I would consider you one of my best buds, and I hope you feel the same way about me.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why we have such a great show and great chemistry. If something came out about me having some type of sexual fling, and I was married at the time, and I'm not, with a staffer here, and we were a national prominent show where I was going to lose my job over it, whether it was consensual or not. You would reach out to me, and I'm assuming that because they did the show so long together, they were friends on and off screen, and that she felt the need to at least reach out to him. The fact that she called him a decent man, I like that. A lot of people would say there's nothing decent about him.
I don't know. I mean, to me, there's a line. I don't know what the line exactly is, but what you just described, the scenario you just
he'd rip my ass up and down.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The line, if you had an illicit, which you haven't, if you had an illicit affair with a staffer, and it was once and consensual, I would rip your ass up and down.
Yeah.
And I would say, you made a stupid, terrible mistake, blah, 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 blah. Still love your brother. If you did a Matt Lauer, and I found out for years you'd been doing this.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between the fling and you were alluring people in. You know what I'd say? Seriously, I'd say, you know what? Man, I really pegged you. I pinned you wrong.
Yeah.
I pinned you wrong. And you know what? I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Because I might say, I hope you find your way, but
that's not to say we couldn't be friends down the road.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you a decent man.
No.
If you did, you know what I mean? Like, if you did all the stuff that Matt Lauer has done, how can you say that they're a decent man?
I was hoping, just from a salacious standpoint, that she was going to mention that Lauer had hit on her.
Yeah, I know.
Because she's attractive.
Yeah.
And she's perky and she's fun.
No, but I think I bet he didn't.
No, but and again, I haven't read the whole book yet. It's not out.
Powerful.
But if he is saying things like wear a skirt that's easy to take off, and doing that with other staff members, one of the reasons he probably didn't was he realized how powerful she was.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
And there are women that are super powerful, that are fun, that like to have a good time, but you don't go there.
Well, that's exactly. That's what made him.
And she was married. I guess she's married at the time.
But that's what made him basically a predator. It was easy prey.
It's hard to turn that. It's hard to turn that preying off. What I mean, by that is, eventually, if you got a guy in the office who's in a power position, he eventually will say something that is not cool to someone that is his equal or maybe even higher at some point, just to test the waters, because they're getting away with it.
The criminal who makes the mistake, right?
Yeah.
That's some.
It's amazing because those two.
I know they're beloved. It's Cosby.
I was thinking the same thing. They were America's anchor team.
Absolutely.
They could have easily done CBS Nightly News together if he hadn't screwed things up. If they wanted to do that, I would have watched.
Great journalist. Great,
They had great chemistry.
That's right.
And despite the fact that he did this, and it surprises because when we see people that we trust to tell the news and do great interviews, we think that they're doing everything correct. It sounds like she knew all along that he was capable and doing a lot of these things. The fact that he had the bunker and had his own office in a room and no one was talking about
if
it.
someone builds that,
It makes you wonder why she didn't bring it out earlier.
It's you talk about a toxic culture.
Yeah.
Just think about think how toxic this is for the whole culture. All the women that he was preying on, the producers and whatnot, terrible. But someone who builds the bunker, you know what I mean? Like, you got to have that installed.
Yeah. Well, or it's an office that's just not being used, and they call it the bunker. But
I swear to God, I still don't understand the locking door thing. I absolutely do not understand why you would ever need to lock your door, even if you were in a top secret meeting. I guess if you're in the White House. But
yeah, I may understand locking an office door when you leave at night or something like that.
Oh,
but I mean,
maybe that's it. Okay, there you go. That's it.
But I mean, to lock it from the inside, to have a button under the desk.
For what?
Or if he wants to take a nap. I mean, when you're that powerful, you can.
What do you want to
call
take a
your own
nap?
shops. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little creepy. Anyway, that book is coming out, and she's getting hammered for it. If you get a chance, and I'll post the Bancroft.
Yeah, you should.
Banfield thing. It's really good.
It does make you lose your faith even more so in humanity. This is my problem. Is that
I don't lose faith in humanity. I'm just surprised that it's never the first time you get caught. And the second thing is we're human, and I know that we use as an excuse. We're all sinners. It doesn't give you an excuse to do dumb shit. But even at the highest level, we've seen it all across Hollywood.
You see Monica Lewinsky's coming out and doing her own drama series, and
yeah,
she looks good.
She looks really good.
She looks
fantastic.
They had a bunch of psychologists sort of waiting.
Speaking of looking good, happy birthday to Julie Andrews
again. You already wished her.
No, I'm waiting for her to call me. She's 86
Is that
today.
who you're going out on the date with tonight?
Dude, if Julie Andrews walked in here right now,
would you break off your other date?
Oh, sorry, yeah, in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Yeah, I would clean. I would. Everything would come off the table. Outside time with my kids. My kids will always convert, but I would
cut this show.
But she'd be over here making dinner for me and the kids.
How do you know?
Assuming she still does that.
Now, would you be okay?
I'd be making her dinner.
No, but here. Oh, this is good. This is good.
Making her dinner.
By the way, did you see they're getting their uniforms on this one? Did you see that is 4 inches?
Uh-huh. 4 inches. Do you know what 4 inches? This.
I know. I know.
This is 4 inches.
Yeah. I don't know that it's 4 inches.
This is a drink coaster, and that's 4 inches.
Maybe it's actually. She's gonna do it again. Maybe it's like 5 inches.
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude.
So what if Julie Andrews turned out not to be who you thought she was? Her demeanor, maybe she was, she's 86, but let's say she was cranky, racist, I'm just making these things up, didn't want to make you dinner.
I think
rude.
Well, at this point, she's 86. I'd look past it.
Okay.
Well,
this is like the Jeff Gordon thing.
This is
right?
this is a female thing too. If I found out that maybe she had taken advantage of younger male staff members on our movies,
yeah, you think that's hot?
Well, hell yeah. I mean, that is hot.
What if she raped them?
I can't
ruin their life.
I can't even put Julie Andrews in the word rape.
And told she would ruin their life.
I will tell you this right now, though. If she wanted to, I'd make love to her.
At 86?
At 86. Well, I'd probably do it, just say I did it.
Then they call you a creep.
Well, we're only 31 years apart.
Yep. Okay.
She's perfect. She's the perfect woman.
By the way, they're making poke bowls, raw tuna over there.
There you go. Today is International Coffee Day.
Is it? I thought it was yesterday.
No.
Dubs had it on yesterday.
It's on today. Someone posted a picture of some celebrity, and she's covered in coffee beans.
That's spicy. I'm going to get myself some more. I get coffee.
Today is International Day of Older Persons. Happy birthday, by the way, to Julie Andrews, who turns
you say it
86.
again? Okay.
And
What is older?
Jimmy Carter's 97. By the way, Randy Quaid is 71.
That's interesting. Jimmy Carter and Julie Angelo on the same day. What is older?
Older is 70 plus.
Okay.
I guess. Today is International Music Day. Today we celebrate all music.
Okay.
Today is National Body Language Day.
Okay.
We'll be looking at some body language tonight. Body language is super important.
Yes,
You can't fake body language. It's like
well, you can fake it. Yeah, you can.
not very well.
You can poker face it. Oh yeah.
I will
People
go.
people are really good with body language.
You ever? But they do if they know going into it that they have to do the body language. In other words, whenever I'm in a meeting with a prospective investor or partner, I will always do everything I possibly can not to cross my arms.
Yeah.
Because that shows that I don't want to be there.
Well, yeah.
Crossing your arms. Now, you were sitting the other day and you were talking to me about something, and I was genuinely interested and engaged in what you were saying, but I had to pee really bad.
Yeah.
And I had my arms crossed, and I kept thinking to myself, I need to uncross my arms, and so I did, because I didn't want you to think that I wasn't interested in what you were talking about, but you're my best friend, so I don't really give a shit.
With you, I know you
And
go
then I
like
said,
this.
hold
It's
on,
to
I gotta
shake the
go
leg.
pee.
You
Yeah.
shake the leg. That either means when you shake your leg, you're either bored or you have to pee. So, I mean, either way.
But body language is pretty easy. If they're looking at you in the eye and their body's facing your direction, you're probably good. Now we can get into the touching the elbow. Or
you never know.
all
Someone's
those
really
kind
good
of
at body language, but does no poker face. They
It
can
depends
hate
on
your
what.
guts.
Well, it depends on what they want out of me.